standing and being a babysitter in the outdoor light of the brownstone neighborhood and staring across the street at the destruction. The tree, having fallen at some point between the last time I was here and now, its mightiness now gone, its aura dissipated, and it now on the concrete like a parked car or like dog shit. Tree rot can fuck you like that. You can look pretty on the outside, but be dying on the inside. And then, one day, you just snap. It could have been me. It might as well be a warning, a sign of what could befall me, beautiful and long, and wanting to stand tall. If I go there today and do my job, if I cross the street and enter the home of the family that lives behind the fallen tree. The house marked 666, where they live, and where the imps are, the devil children, who I take care of, and who love me, apparently, allegedly. Oh, say can you see, by the morning's light, that I'm not lying. Their house number really is 666. It never sat right. Nothing much does in my life. And I am not a rebel, but I do want to survive. I can't go today. I don't want what happened to that tree to happen to me. I don't want to snap, and those kids do test me. I need to be free. I need to go to my happy place, Apocalypse Beach. Going into the subway system, I barely possibly avoid the gaze of a woman who lives on that block and who knows the family. Waiting for the train, I wonder if this is fucked now, me having possibly been spotted by someone tangentially related to the situation. But what could it mean, having seen me? Does it even matter? I could just say that I tried to make it there, but fell ill along the way. Is that what I'll say? Is that the best reason for why I'm not there? I guess so. Why is it only illness in this society that people care about as a reason for not showing up? Why not clarity? Why can't people find no offense to that? The reason I didn't come is because I had a clear thought, for once in my life, a direction that I needed to follow. That wasn't this one, but I'll be back, like the Terminator, to fight again, tomorrow, for your side, against your enemies. I promise. I just needed to be me for once. I just needed to breathe. Oh, say can you see, by the subway's light, as it is here now, and I will ride it to glory. My beautiful body, what's left of me, after working for a living these past few years for that family and its devil children. Apocalypse Beach begins by going to it, if you let it. The journey is the destination, or at least the first part of it. I like to sit. I've never minded it. Waiting is only waiting. If you're standing, anything else is just love. I can think of anything I want to, as long as I am sitting. I can rhyme. I can think of slicing limes. I can do time in my head, a prison of the soul. I can lock away even that which should be free in here of all places, like sorrow or doubt. I wonder where emotions go when not addressed, like letters in the mail, sent and never arrived. It's hard to cry, even in the face of my dark room, or even in the face of the darkness behind my eyes. Sorry if this is oversharing, but sharing is caring, and a paring knife is probably the best for suicide. Life hack, hacking away at the flesh. I think of it only to disgust myself and steer myself away from it. I hate blood, and that includes my own. I even hate my pleasure. I even hate my moans. I've just been very stressed lately. Sorry for the sad rant. Hopefully there was beauty. I would like to be a school teacher when I grow up. When I have gray hair, I want to switch gears when I get there. Teachers don't look like teachers anymore. They look like I do now, and that's fucked up. All teachers now look like teachers who would fuck their students, or at least that's what it seems like, to my eyes. My beautiful brown boys that look out of my head. My beautiful brown hair that are the drapes for them, like they are birdies in a windowsill. I am traveling still. I am a tough pill to swallow sometimes. I've fucked a mime in my mind, a dream I had when I was 5. I didn't know what fucking was, so it was just me and the mime, holding hands and laughing and spinning, him silent and me aloud. It wasn't until much later that I'd realized that sex with a man is basically just that. I had it right the first time, the surreal time. Sex with a woman is much different. I wouldn't know, but who gives a fuck? I imagine it's like cradling a duck. I don't always rhyme, but sometimes I do, until I get to Port Authority. It's important to stand and look at the neon shoe repair sign. It's free, and it doesn't cost anything. Its beauty is better than you can find at museums. Then you go up the fun escalator, and you look at the magazines for a little while. You immerse yourself in the culture that is still around in that regard. You be a beautiful young woman engaging with the product, a de facto ambassador for print media. Maybe lust or love will cause someone else to peruse or even buy. Maybe jobs will be protected for a little while longer because of your choice to devote a minute to the dinosaur. Then you go up the other fun escalator to where the buses are. And then you go up the final fun escalator, your favorite one, to where you wait for the bus. It's a glass cage, but it's beautiful, and it's good to be in. Better than inhaling pure exhaust. The area is closed after 10 p.m. But man, wouldn't it be nice to have a sleepover, not homelessness, but yes, a sleeping bag, in the glass cage, and you and your life leading to that moment. Maybe even bad choices, but at least the solace of being somewhere darkly beautiful, both you and it. I like my skinny arms, and I like to ride buses, and all of this is a vacation. I don't need aquamarine water or a bikini to feel alive, and I like the accordion middle, and I like to choose a seat. It is fun. The best movie that I've ever seen is the one that you are about to see. There it is. It begins. You have to sit on the left-hand side of the bus and look out the window as you go to Apocalypse Beach. There is nothing better. There is no more humanity possible than this. It is a rush. It makes me flush with something indescribable. New Jersey is beautiful in ways that it will never get credit for. It's like a whore who's wonderful at more than just being dirty. I look forward to being in my 30s and taking my kids, ones that came out of me, on this journey and letting them look out at anything and everything, the entire lifestyle across the river that is accessible from New York City so quickly. It's a shorter trip to Apocalypse Beach from Port Authority than it is for me to get to Port Authority from where I babysit in Brooklyn. States are weird like that. So much of New York City is on the border of all this beauty. I think that's why life is good sometimes, because nothing that good is ever that far. It may feel on the other side of the world damn near, but you're always wrong. There is a vacation made for you and only you, so close to you that you could touch it. Idiosyncratic sand and singular seawater to dip your toes in. I am on my way to my happy place that only I know exists and only I have named. There is no bus that goes to Apocalypse Beach. You have to ride one that says it goes somewhere else and know exactly when to get off. Masturbation is the only sex in this world that actually exists. You have to please yourself. You can't wait for others to get around to pleasing you. Life is a shoe, and you have to put it on your own foot. There are no salespeople anymore, and there never truly were. No one with a shoehorn and a friendly disposition and that metal foot measurer. That's all long gone. Or maybe never was. Like movies shot on film. Maybe they were always digital. Maybe they just hit it better back then. I don't trust anyone, not even me, to tell me what used to be. All I live for, and all I tell the kids that I babysit to live for, is the eternal present. My job as a babysitter is really the best job, even though it's hell. I'm next to so much that I want in this world, yet so far. At least I have days like this, shit that's really my own shit. I never heard of Apocalypse Beach. I came up with it. I found a spot, and then I named it, and that was it. I've never told a single soul except for you. The ears in my head is all that this is being sent to, at least for now. The purpose of having kids is to finally have someone to share your secrets to. The secrets of the universe, in truth. All that you believe in and all that you feel has worth. That is the reason to ever be in pain and ever give birth. I get off the bus, and then I stare at the Japanese mall, really take its beauty in. It would be a sin to go inside without standing, at least for a bit. There's so much there. There's so much inside, but also outside too. Even just its shell, its building, I can relate to that. I feel like my body, even though it's mostly skin, means something beautiful. I go inside to the supermarket. I get my double dark green tea. I get my onigiri. And then I stand and look at the water behind the Japanese mall. Technically, this is Apocalypse Beach already, but really it starts further down. This part is not apocalypse. This part is just normal, but still beautiful, like a normie woman or something. I feel so much calm here. The earth stands still as I walk on it to my desired destination. So much of life shakes around, up and down, side to side, that you should really appreciate whenever it doesn't, whenever it's like God is using a tripod. These still moments are what it means for time to stop. As you get smaller, yet closer to what you want, yourself disappearing as you become more your surroundings than your own being. You go to Apocalypse Beach to become Apocalypse Beach, at least for a little while. You subsume to the setting, like how it must be at your own wedding, where you are no more a being, than the little you in the dress on the top of the cake icing is, where you are your relatives and your friends and your hubby in the color white. You are the knife, cutting into the cake, unable to taste, only to feel. You fought your whole life just to get to this moment, and then it turns out you have to be a ghost for it. A lady in a white dress, surrounded by people, talking to each other. But it's worth it, because it's the best way to get to have children, to get to the real work that needs to be done, such as raising them. Even an oafish husband is worth that, because what could be better than having a piece of you that came out of you that you can talk to and take to the beach? A real one, or an apocalypse one, it doesn't matter. It's enough to make you cry every second of every day, and you're not even there yet. How will you ever not cry when it's there in front of you? How will you ever smile again when you are that happy? This is Apocalypse Beach. It is beautiful. I can't explain what it means to me. I love the garbage. I love the brokenness. I love the togetherness of it and nature. Some days, there's a shopping cart in the water, but not today for some reason. They remove them periodically, but life finds a way. A shopping cart will always return to the water. I think the concrete blocks are to stop them from rolling in, but they never work fully. Shopping carts are crafty. They are nifty creatures. They are beautiful. My favorite animal. The best amphibian. Others like Apocalypse Beach too, but they don't call it that. They don't know what it is. Even as they're experiencing it, they lack the fortitude to be creative with it, to see more than just a rundown pathway. They probably even wish it was in better shape. I like her just the way that she is, though. I don't think that there's anything wrong with her. She thick, as the kids might say. I don't just mean teenagers in general. I mean the little ones that I babysit for. They say it all the time, even when it doesn't make sense. So, I should be able to, too. There's no better view of New York City than from Apocalypse Beach. You can't really see it right now because of the cloud cover, but maybe later. You just gotta be patient sometimes in life. I promise it'll be worth it. Until then, you just gotta drink your double dark green tea and look out at anything that reminds you that you're here and not over there, working. When you get hungry, then you eat your onigiri, starting with the mushroom one. That's the one that comes first. It is not at its best today. It's been better. It's been perfection most days. But today, it is not. And that is fine. It's still amazing. It's still what it is. A duck family is passing by, on their way to church or something, or whatever the duck equivalent is. Next is the mustard greens one. That comes second. This one is always good. Always great, in fact. Always perfection. Mustard greens are super underrated. They're really good, and minestrone especially. I make that sometimes, from scratch. Lastly is the ume plum one. That's the palate cleanser, although for most people, the worst one. Some people hate ume because it's so salty and sour, but I appreciate it. I like what it does to me. I like how it ends things. Behind me, unbeknownst to me, they were doing something to the target that I like to eat in front of. It looks like they're taking down letters or something. I hope this doesn't mean it's closing down or something. I love this target. Going into it is part of doing Apocalypse Beach right. It's the next stage of my routine, and vacation routines are important. I start with physical movies, what little still they sell. Then I hit up the vinyl, the big boys. I don't have a record player. I've never owned a vinyl, just held them, fully wrapped. I'm scared to hold the actual black circle. I feel like I'd probably cause dust and skips or break it. They seem fragile, even though I know they aren't probably. But I don't trust myself, so I just stick to them shrink-wrapped, appreciating them when I see them, sold new in stores. Pants are always nice to have, and so rare to find. Good ones. I have a good body, but that doesn't do me any special favors. Pants are so random. Some make me look just plain terrible. I've gotten good at spotting those ones before I even try them on. Tops are harder to know if they're gonna be good or not. Anything could happen when you put one on. You might become someone new in your life, a you that you should have always been, but maybe never had the opportunity to be. That's why women shop for clothes. It's the only way to be sure of yourself, or to find out who you really are, deep down inside. It's an existential exploration. Imagine me in this hoodie. I would look silly. The kids would like it though, the little imps. They like silly shit. I'm more refined. I'm like water with lime. But still, something I'll find. I think I look good in this, but I don't want it. It's not enough me, even though I'm enough it, if that makes any sense. This one I could definitely wear, but still, I don't want it. Wanting something is a prickly pear, a tricky pickle. Maybe with the right thing on the bottom. No, it's worse. I was closer before. It's funny how differently a person can look just by changing the wrapping. I mean, it's not terrible, but still, where did I go? Where is the me that I like being, is what I'm saying when I look at myself in it. This one, I have high hopes for. It reminds me of something I used to wear in Cape Cod in the summertime when I was younger. Yeah, it looks familiar, but too familiar. I've already lived the part of my life that this was. I've already kissed the boys I needed to kiss while looking like this. I've evolved like Pokemon, even though I miss being a kid. I like to put everything back on the hangers correctly. I like to leave a place looking better than when I left it. I think I got that phrase wrong, but I like it better my way. I like cereal sometimes. I like it for dessert. I have that in common with the children. They are allowed a little bit after dinner. I allow myself the same. I've never heard of this one. I've never seen it before. You can find the craziest things in New Jersey. Is this real? What even is this? Who even is this character? Is he new? What is going on? Maybe I'll try it one day, but not today. I like pickles. They are good for you. There are no calories inside of them. You can always snack on a pickle. I always have at least 2 jars. These kind I don't have. Maybe I want them. Mostly, I just like crouching like this. I haven't smelled these in a long while, and I don't want to have to buy them in order to be able to. Hopefully no one who works here comes and arrests me. Yep, they smell exactly like my childhood. The kids I babysit don't have these. Their parents are against them, I guess. I once brought up their existence while we were coloring, and the mom glared at me, hard enough to try and kill me. I changed the subject before the kids fully knew what I was even talking about. I saved my job in that moment. It's amazing the things rich people will put you through. I could have legit lost my ability to pay rent that month just for mentioning markers with fun scents. Not talked about, blowjobs or something. Just hip them to a product that's been around for probably 40 years. Life is a weird place to try and live sometimes. I hate soccer, but I like the balls. If I were on a date with a guy, he would seize upon that statement and its possible dirtiness. Guys are always getting in the way of more interesting discussion. Discussing the beauty of a soccer ball aesthetically is more entertaining than innuendo. They think they're adding something, but really they're subtracting from what's actually sexy. I'm more liable to want to have sex if a man really hears me out on the beauty of certain game balls. Like this little orange one is pretty cool. I like this orange bat. There should be a game with that orange ball and this orange bat. Maybe I could get both for the kids, and we could invent one together. A heavy metal bat is probably not appropriate for them, though. They're still so young, and even if they could lift it, they would probably just hit me with it. Fuck getting them something. They don't need something. I should be getting something for myself, like this cube. I've always wanted to try one, and maybe today I will do so. I'm scared of them, though. I don't want to discover that I'm not very smart. These are more my speed. If I got one of these dolls, then I would at least feel smarter than it. But who isn't? I don't have any dice in my apartment. But maybe I don't need dice. My apartment definitely needs playing cards. Those would be fun. But my roommates would probably just take them. I've always wanted to skateboard, but I'm probably too old and should just use my fingers. These would be perfect for a woman like me. I want my legs to stay nice and bruiseless. But I wonder if these hurt your fingers. I'll have to look them up and see if they do. This is fun. Dinosaurs are cool. This is the most fun I've had all day. I never got in to professional wrestling. I wouldn't know where to start. It's like a moving train that I don't know how to jump onto. This was my favorite game. I used to fucking slay at this shit. This new one feels different than the one I remember. The plastic isn't the same, and the buttons depress differently. I feel like I'm gonna fuck this up because of that. Any second now, I'm gonna eat it. So I'm just gonna quit while I'm ahead. This is a cute little red car. They took the rest of the sign down. Maybe it really is going away. This is the view I was telling you about. It's finally here now. Have you ever seen New York City look so beautiful? It's like an idealized version of New York City. I love New York City, but this is much better than the actual reality. It promises so much that it cannot deliver. Just look at the supposed homeostasis of it all. Doesn't it look like somewhere that someone like me could thrive? What is wrong with me, or what is wrong with it? That is not the case. But I can't let it get me down. At least I can stare and dream of a better world. I guess that's what Apocalypse Beach means to me. Apocalypse Beach is me, and across the river is everything I want to be, even though I live over there and not here. I like to break sticks. I like to sit like this. I like that I bought this little red car for no reason. I like to open things up. I never learned to drive. First time for everything. That was an awful car wreck that I caused. Luckily, no one was hurt. I can try again. I can do better. Another terrible crash, but I think I'm getting better. Why can't I make it roll straight? What is wrong with me? It's just a little car with working wheels. Is there something wrong with my wrists? Why is this hard? I feel like a girl trying to throw a baseball and stepping forward with the throwing hand. What am I doing wrong? Stop fucking crashing. This is starting to feel like performance art. Oh my God, I barely touched it, and it still crashed. I see the devil children play with cars all the time, and they don't crash them. What the fuck? Is this what it would be like if I drove a real car? Jesus Christ, how will I ever be a grown-up without killing myself or others. I was scared to skateboard. Now I'm scared to drive. It seems like a shortcut to not being alive. I was not meant to go anywhere. It's clear. I miss my mom. My mom survived a car accident and then had me. Maybe I'm destined to cause a wreck as a cosmic give and take. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to be a tree that falls on anyone. I should just lay here until my body is returned to the sea. I will be left alone. No stranger will check on me. I had many glorious years with my mom. This was before I became a babysitter. This used to be a driving range and a mini golf course, but they tore it down and the earth reclaimed it. Me and my mom used to play mini golf here. I once got 3 holes in one. Apocalypse Beach was ours, me and hers. It didn't start going to shit after she died. It was always shit. But we always appreciated it. I should probably have called or texted them by now. The family that I babysit for. They're probably worried or angry. I'm a bad person. I don't deserve cute Japanese things, but I can at least admire them and use them when possible. It's encouraged. I'm not harming anything. I don't know what I drew means. I should show up with gifts. I should be apologetic. I'd probably just seem crazy, even though the kids would be into it. I'd be brought aside into another room and fired, and they probably would still keep the gifts. I think men should jack off to Japanese women, and not just cartoons of them. Japanese women are plenty attractive. Who needs the stupid anime? Look at the tits on this one. Maybe I should get myself a gift, treat myself for having the courage to possibly be fired, or something to console myself if necessary, something to hold in bed at night, if this night will end in crying, or something to hump between my legs. Just kidding. I like Japanese fashions, and I have none. These are all so good. If I were rich, I would take all of them. No problem. I used to have some of these when I was a kid. Good times. I had a figure of this guy when I was a kid. I don't know why. I like these fish that float in the sky. My mom used to like them too. This one's real big. I don't have any this huge. I don't know their significance. This is my mom's favorite incense, the cedar one, specifically. It always reminds me of her. I have plenty at home. I do need more shichimi, though. I also need a pearl soy milk, but they don't have my favorite, the green tea one. Waiting for the bus to go home, I feel in Japan even more than in the mall. I settled for the regular pearl soy milk, and it's fine. The green tea one is much better, though. My phone has been off all day. I'm sure they've been calling and texting me. If Anthony Bourdain had any balls, he'd do stuff like this. I know he can't do anything because he's dead, but still. I'm actually risking something with my food and pleasure excursion. I'm just a babysitter, but I'm more him than he is. Well, they fired me. That's the end of that job. No asking what happened to me or if I was sick. The little devils saw me from the windows, staring at the house, and then walking away. I'm not worried, though. I feel pain and fear, but I'll be all right. I won't give up on life. My mom scraped and scrapped to have me, and I will scrape and scrap to be a mom.
Let me go away for a little while. A fraction of the action going out of style. Getting paid to enslave all the mercies mine. Damage is done, staring into the sun. Tried to throw me a line. Let me go away for a little while.